going to the Rubicon.
Rubicon Ready.
What are you doing?
So we're going to pick up the third vehicle in preparation for the Rubicon.
Why have you bought so many vehicles?
Should we just go down the list of all of our issues?
Why have you bought so many vehicles?
So the Sahara had a bend frame. Other than that, it was fine. It would have done fine. But then the White Lightning popped up for what we thought was a great deal.
Still is.
Still a great deal. But after replacing the timing belt and all the various pumps and getting it running, it was overheating, and it looks like either there's a bad valve seat or a bad ring. There's low compression in the first cylinder, and so we aren't going to be able to deal with that before the Rubicon, and so we're going to go pick up a Suzuki Samurai that is Rubicon ready, and hopefully, cross fingers, doesn't need any work before the trip. So now we're going to Lake Elsinore to hopefully pick it up.
Very cool car. So here's the Samurai. Jack just went for a test drive. I guess it's going through all the gears. Very much like what the seller is saying. Needs a little bit of love, a little bit of tune-up in terms of fuel and spark, but it runs cold. It's got good oil pressure. Transmission coolers. This one's a 3-speed automatic. I guess that's the more desirable low-range transmission. Runs ice cold with that aluminum radiator that's in there. It's got a motor from a Geo tracker. It's been updated into it. It's not smog legal in California, but from my understanding, Jack's got an LLC. He'll register it in. The axles both have been swapped with chromoly shafts. It's coming with extra rain pinions, front and rear, extra housings, front and rear, a 4-speed transmission if he's trying to go faster than what this thing will do right now. And I think it's a pretty solid rig. Oh, it's twin sticked as well, which is pretty cool. And it's got some older PRPs in it, and it's got a rear seat as well. But overall, I think it's going to do what Jack needs it to do if he decides to move forward on it. The few things that he'll have to do are really just prepping the fuel system and then prepping the ignition system. So solid little ride here. And also it's got a chromoly cage, which is really nice.
All right, so this is what we replaced the YJ with. It's a 1988 Suzuki Samurai, and it's had a lot done to it before I bought it, and that's kind of why I bought it. It's Rubicon ready, and we're about 3 weeks away from the Rubicon trip, and I just don't have time to do a ton of stuff to something like the YJ. But a quick overview of it, it's got a 1.6 Geo Tracker fuel-injected engine in it. When we bought it, it was kind of getting starved for fuel, but we just figured that out, and it looked like a leaky fuel filter. Something was letting air into the fuel line, and we just bypassed it, and so it's running great now. The fan relay was kind of a little wonky, and so just put a new relay in, and that's perfect now. So it's running great. Stuff that it's kind of came with, it's got chromoly axles front and back. It's got Lock-Right lockers front and back. It's got Toyota spring, so it's got a little bit longer spring and the missing link shackle. It's got a 6.4-to-1 transfer case, so super low gears. It'll just idle over stuff. We put a set of PRP Daily Driver seats in there, so that's a new upgrade. It had PRP suspension seats in there before, so we really just needed to swap them over. All the brackets lined up. It was really just unbolting one thing and bolting in the next. And so I think they look really good in there. The colors match. Moving on to the interior of it. It came with a Lowrance GPS, and it works. Everything on it works. I've never had one, so I got to do a little research on how to work that thing, but that's super cool. It's got a full custom aluminum dash with a bunch of Zeus fittings to take it in and out super easy. It's got a fully caged, tied into the frame. The rock sliders are all tied into the frame. When I bought it, it came with full doors on it and a best top soft top, but we decided to take that off because it has this custom aluminum roof that's bolted into the cage, and we want a little bit of airflow for the Rubicon. And it also came with these cool aluminum, these custom half doors that's just kind of tubed with aluminum covers on them. So we'll get a lot of airflow when we're out on the trail and not overheating. And for these PRP Daily Driver seats, they actually keep them in stock. So something like our situation where the Rubicon's coming up super quick, you can go on their website, order these, and have them immediately, and not wait for custom seats to be made and wait weeks, especially if you're in a situation like us where the Rubicon's only a few weeks away. So we've officially moved away from White Lightning, and I'm now Samurai Jack. This thing is pretty capable. I think out of all of the Crawl Guy rigs, it's probably the most ready, especially compared with Crawl Guy Paul, who probably won't even make it through the gatekeeper, unfortunately. But we'll see. It'll be a fun trip. Tune in to check all that out. We'll be having it posted pretty soon.